Well, there it is, the Scenic City doing what the Scenic City does best, just looking good. We know why it's called the Scenic City, right? Evidence is all around us, especially in the downtown area. But have you ever wondered when we got called the Scenic City? For more on exactly that, we bring in the city. It's Sean Phipps, marketing with Chattanooga Tourism Company. Sean, I've looked all over. I can't find when we officially became the Scenic City.
Well, I'm surprised. It's at the top of the Google. No, I'm just kidding. There wasn't a moment where thousands of people gathered in our city and the mayor stood up in front of everybody and said, "Now we are thus the Scenic City."
With the top hat on?
Exactly. It just didn't happen like that. And a lot of cities like that were having nicknames associated with them. You got Nashville's the Music City.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get, right? You go there, it's music. Las Vegas is Sin City. You also know what you're going to get when you go there. Chattanooga, we are the Scenic City, and this is what you get, the scenic beauty.
It is something else. I know there was no exactly when, but at some point we had to at least have started calling it that, right?
In about 1928 is the first moment where we can see the word scenic used associated with Chattanooga in print. There was a Jubilee edition of the Chattanooga Times that talked about the city. It was basically a citywide celebration, and in it they started talking about the scenic splendor of Chattanooga, and that's the first mention I could find.
And from there it just evolves as the city evolves to what it is today, and we are the Scenic City.
Well, Chattanooga has always had its natural beauty as its best asset, and that goes back to even the Civil War when people were fighting here. They were fighting and they took moments to write about the beauty. Look at the ridges while they're fighting. And then after the Civil War, Reconstruction happened. You had a lot of interest from the North. They started coming back. And that was great for cities like Chattanooga because we needed the money. We were under Reconstruction.
I didn't really put this into perspective until now. It's literally the worst of times, the best of times.
Right.
People fighting each other to the death, and then returning on much greater terms to visit that spot.
Yeah, we don't talk about this often because I don't have anybody nerd out on Chattanooga like we're doing right now. But Chattanooga has always had a knack for being fortuitous right before a major national event occurs. You saw it happen with the 1920s right before the Great Depression. What had just opened? What had already been in place? Ruby Falls, 1929. 1932, Rock City opens. So right after, when people who could afford to travel wanted to travel, they needed places to go, and Chattanooga was poised to be one of those places. What happened right before World War II? Chattanooga's Glenn Miller Orchestra brought us the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Really?
Right, so we were already in the ether of the world prior to World War II, and that sustained us, this kind of romantic idea that Chattanooga was a place to visit by train now.
Is it kind of neat to you that Chattanooga's nickname can punch with the likes of the Windy City, Sin City, the City of Brotherly Love? Like, it's known nationwide.
Yeah, and I mean, it always has been known nationwide. What happened is that it naturally occurred, and so it's even more powerful because it really does speak to our area. It's not something that was invented as a marketing campaign. It's just literally the Scenic City.
And what a great little history lesson as we come upon 423 Day.
423 Day. I mean, my one takeaway, I have a couple of takeaways there, just how it was unforced, right? The nickname is the nickname, and it just became it. No one forced it, and that's why it is what it is. And it really is scenic, obviously. But you go back to the Civil War, right? The 1860s, they're battling each other to the death, but still taking time to write about how cool this place was.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Then they came back and visited.
It's an authentic name.
It really is, yeah. We live in a special place.